On the 4th of July, I had the great opportunity to take part in a live painting event at a lake. I had an amazing experience getting to meet other artists, have people see my painting process in action, and help raise money for a local organization. All of this was capped off by being able to pull off a painting I was pretty darn happy with. This painting of two bison enjoying their own day at the lake was auctioned off that same day, and I'm glad someone has a painting of mine that was important to me. I took part in this event halfway for fun and halfway as a challenge to fuel my growth as an artist. I'd like to share my overall ideas about that thought process while I show you the physical process of the artwork I made that day. I'm a big fan of the show Portrait Artist of the Year and its counterpart Landscape Artist of the Year. These shows put artists under constraints like time, location, or maybe not even knowing who or what they'll be painting on that day. These artists have to come prepared to either increase the literal speed at which they work, or create shortcuts by working more loosely than they normally do. For some, this new way of adapting their work to create faster results in a new kind of process that they can adapt into their style, perhaps for the better. That thought immediately crossed my mind when my wife, who found the event online, told me I should participate. After I got over my initial nervousness about doing it short notice, I knew I had to throw myself in and just go for it. Luckily, also due to the fact that I'm a fan of those two shows, I'm also a student of knowing the things that work or don't work for the participants. Things like picking the wrong canvas size, altering their process, or just not having a process or game plan at all. I felt nervous, but confident enough in my process to trust that I could create something I could at least be proud of. I utilized a limited color palette of only 5 colors: a yellow, a red, a blue, an ivory black, and titanium white. I pushed the contrast of both color and value in order to make it pop off the page and hopefully be recognizable at a distance. And since we actually got a bit more time than I was expecting, I was able to play with some different colors and have a more relaxed bit of painting at the end, giving me the chance to experience the fun side of things by getting to know some amazing artists and talk with those who stopped and visited. I was extremely happy with the experience overall and the results of this painting. I learned a couple of lessons from this adventure, with the first being that the context surrounding an artwork can invigorate that artwork and make it more than just the 2D image you see on the canvas. So many of my artworks are created through a process of planning and consistent, meticulous work. Balancing that with more instinctual and spontaneous works brings more life to the process and opportunities for growth. The second lesson is that time spent on an artwork doesn't correlate to how it will be perceived or its value. One of the questions I'm often asked is how often I spend on an artwork, and that range can typically be from 40 to 70 hours on some of my more detailed works. However, this artwork only took roughly 3 hours and will remain one of my more treasured artworks. Sometimes less is more. If you're an artist and you have an opportunity to do something like this, I would highly recommend it. Even if the artwork hadn't turned out like I wanted, I still would have been happy with the amount of fun I had, the lessons I learned, and getting to meet other area artists. Participating in events like this aligns perfectly with my artistic philosophy of utilizing my art making as a vehicle to engage with the world more meaningfully. But that's a topic for a future video. Thanks for watching.